honest Bahamians aren't prepared to stand up and fight and defend their own Bahamas, then you don't deserve to have it.
Now let that sink in. Come on. Change ain't coming, change is here. You can hear it, you can feel it in the air. All politicians, put your hands in the air. This is stick up, let me make myself clear. I'm a grown man talking, so you know what to do. No one's leaving till we figure out the truth. Why you laughing? This ain't nothing funny. So no one gets to go home till we figure out this money. Change ain't coming, change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, nigga, change is here. Now if you ain't standing with us, then I know you against us. Bahamas, this ain't no time for us to be lukewarm. This is war, and we riding through the storm. Come on. Let's go. Shalom to all my Hebrew brothers, to all my Muslim and Rastas, we need you, brother. I see, I know. I can't forget the Christians. Let's put our differences aside, cause it's a bigger mission. See, they've been doing this for years, trying to separate us, kinda trying to keep us down and never elevate us. Now it's time to praise the Lord, cause he's about to take us over to the promised land where we can celebrate us. I got to do it for my kids that ain't even born yet, so the minute that they born, they already gotta check that check. Gotta have that time to collect, so they won't know how it feels to have that yoke around their neck, yeah. See, y'all been robbing my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother and grandfather. It's like y'all can't get enough. Y'all just keep eating and giving us nothing but taxes. Y'all went even as far as to say that this country's in debt and we ain't got no money. When 9 times out of 10, everybody in this country's possibly a millionaire. It's time to wake up. Let's talk about natural resources, cause every time we bring it up, they say hold your horses. They say it ain't worth a thing, but it's worth a fortune. Meanwhile, they open up their businesses across the borders. Oh yes, we track their bank accounts across the waters. They say this country in debt, but they making millions. If we don't stop this now, they be up to billions. It's about to go down and I get the feeling we gotta cut a movie on these dirty villains. On this Lincoln Bain and his team came with information. It's like everything changed, everything went quiet. It's like so much facts and they can't deny it. They rather keep their mouths shut before they start a riot. Now look how they tryna just steal the oil. They don't wanna share with none of y'all. They been robbing us while we were sleeping. Send them to jail cause they failed, they committed treason. Change ain't coming. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, nigga, change is here. Listen, from Freeport to Nassau all the way to Nago, there's no more time for us to sit back and be quiet. You understand? This is war. If they only knew who we were, if they only know who we are, they would know we are warriors. No retreat, no surrender. Just give us what you owe us. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. I feel this all the way to my ancestors. We are warriors. We only really want what's owed to us. You get it? Now free up.
But listen, these people say, give us our 1 acre.
You know, I think all of us as Bahamians are sick and tired. Like over the last 100 years, foreigners coming here, and they can build anywhere. And of course, don't forget all the land that we give the great white foreigners when they come here to put up a hotel. Mm-hmm. And then it turns into be a housing community. It may be 50 rooms, and you give them the land for $10,000 an acre on the waterfront, in the Family Islands at Meguana. It's far. We seem to be far away, but some of the best beaches in this country, they got for nothing. Yep. I think Bahamians are at the point now where they're just going to force themselves and say, listen, if our Haitian brothers and sisters come over here with nothing and build a house on our property, what the hell stopped me from doing the same thing?
So what? A few were arrested reportedly last week. Do you think that's fair?
I don't think it's fair because I don't see them arresting any of the Haitians that does it, or the Jamaicans or anybody else. But you know, our country is like a runaway train right now. I was in a race.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. It is always a pleasure to be with all of you. I know we didn't announce this live, and of course, you know, we've decided not to announce many of our lives moving forward because every time we announce our lives, they tend to interfere with our lives. We tend to have interference, so we know what's going on there. And so we've made the decision that we'll just go live. But you know, we normally go on Tuesdays, and then we sometimes have a special on Sundays, especially if something special has come up. All right. So I see this live is kind of choppy already. So I hope we don't have any issues with this. Okay, they're saying the live is perfect. All right. But thank you all for joining us. We got some stuff to talk about today. We just wanted to bring you up to date on this stuff. You know, we were shocked again by the actions of the government today. Please share. Please take some time out to share this while we're doing this. Like I said, we were absolutely flabbergasted by the Department of Forestry today, that comes under the Ministry of Environment. We were shocked that they actually made an announcement earlier today saying that, admitting that there was disruption of trees for the purpose of forestry. They actually came out and admitted that. And I think what happened is what they said, you know, before, they got a call. And they got a call to change the narrative. That's my opinion on what happened. They got a call to change the narrative. And that call told them to say something different. I'm going to play the news article where the director was speaking, and then I'm going to show you how she came back and tried to change her story. This shows you how the government is actually interfering in everything that's going on with this. The government is trying to paint a narrative against Bahamians. No matter how much information you bring forward to the Bahamian people, no matter how much proof you have of what's really going on, they are trying to change the narrative. Before we get to that, I just want to say good night to everyone who's watching this. I see Kelly Gibson, you are here. Thank you so much. I see Tamala, you are there. Tamala got 4 names. Tamala Nicole Wallace Forbes. She got all her government names there. Good night, Tamala. Patricia Butler is there. Thank you for tuning in and welcome to the Evolution. Fiola Edgecombe is there. Thank you for tuning in, Fiola. Sean Taker. What does he say? That's because you show the maps working and cutting down. Yep, of course, we'll get to that in a second. Thank you. Thank you all for tuning in. Cindy L. Gadet, you are tuned in. Always welcome. Cindy, stay strong. They saw some people going after you, but stay strong. You are doing an amazing thing in this country. To Nell Taylor, good night. Dillis Green, special good evening to you. Brenda Ferguson, a special good evening to you, Brenda. Thank you for tuning in. Deborah Raming, you are here. Good evening, soldier, with all that Arabic writing. I don't know what your name actually is, but good evening to you. Welcome to the war. Kingdom Trends is here. Good night. Thank you for being here. Dwayne Smith is here. Thank you, Dwayne, for tuning in. Brenda Mitchell, good night to you. Anastasia Brooks, welcome, Anastasia Brooks. Welcome to the Evolution. Timothy Dawden Knowles, you are here. Timothy Dawden Knowles. Michael Henry, what's going on, my brother? How you doing? Michael Henry is always there holding the fort, always there helping out wherever he can. Thank you so much for everything you do. Craig Pinder, thank you for tuning in. Tiffany McGregor, welcome, welcome. Tamala Nicole Wallace Forbes. Okay, we already called all your name. Ralph Stewart, thank you for being here. Tyrone Davis, welcome to the Evolution, Tyrone. Rudy Bethel, thank you for joining us. Darren Flowers, welcome. Darren is always in the house. I hope I pronounced that right. Deron, might be Deron. Travis Bodie, good night, Travis Bodie. Yvette Francis, good evening to you also. Androsian Sugar. Androsian Sugar. Thank you for tuning in, Androsian Sugar. Thank you for tuning in. Brenda Ferguson, Tyrone C. Knowles, JP. Good evening to you and welcome. Starboy Roll is also here. All Scoops is always on social media. I'm making sure that this message is shared out because the evil media is trying to switch the narrative and trying to keep this from the people. So All Scooper, you are the one who shares this more than anyone else. Thank you so much for your effort. Carmen Raming, good evening and thank you for being here. Leonardo Cartwright says, keep up the fight. Thank you, Leonardo Cartwright. We are not going anywhere. We're going to keep up the fight. But it's not me that has to keep up the fight. It's all of you. Because this is only going to work if you make this work. Marvin Evans is there. That's the prophet. Good evening to you, the prophet himself. Thank you for everything that you do. Dexter Robinson. Sister C is there. Sister C, how you doing, man? How you doing, Sister C? Thank you for tuning in. Veronica Bain is there. Thank you for tuning in, Veronica Bain. D'Angelo Johnson. Calais Nicole Swain, good evening to you. And so Cameo Taylor is also there. And so thank all of you for tuning in. Thank all of you for tuning in. And I want to say a special good evening to someone I miss so dearly. I haven't heard from them in a couple of weeks. Mario Sanz, what's going on with you, man? Mario Sanz, the Bahamas needs to hear from you. Thank you so much for everything you do, for putting out information and truth out there, and teaching the Bahian people some extra French words while you're at it. But thank you. Seems like you got blocked. Everyone is getting blocked. Everyone, tune in to Tingham, the Tingham app. Download the Tingham app. Still trying to get that onto what do you call it, Apple, but it's on Android. So if you have an Android device, go on to the Tingham app. All right, just go in the store and search for Tingham, and go in there. Put your views. You will never get blocked. That's going to soon be upgraded so you can do lives, etc. on there. Go to the Tingham app. Go to the Play Store and download the Tingham app. Freedom of speech. You can post whatever you want. No one is going to supervise you. No big brother. It's freedom of speech for Bahamians. So just go to that Tingham app. It's really, really good. They're going to be adding features to that very soon where you can actually make calls. Just like WhatsApp. You can make WhatsApp calls, etc. Probably be adding those features by next week. So some features are going to be added to that next week. Still working on Apple. All right. So go to the Tingham app and get real freedom of speech. Hey, y'all ain't tired of getting Facebook, jail, etc. Come on, man. Go to Tingham, man. Come on. All right. So thank all of you all for being here. I see Kelda Gibson. Thank you. And thank you for being here. Patrick Short is also here. Tall Pines in the house. Welcome, Tall Pines. All right. Kankale, you are there. Thank you for being here, Kankale, Kankala. All right. So thank all of you all for joining. We're gonna talk a little bit about this forestry, and you can see the darkness. And I decided to go live because I want you to always see the darkness that is going on. There's a conspiracy all over the world to keep freedom of speech down, to muzzle persons, and to keep a certain narratives. And freedom fighters around the world are going through it. And the Bahamas is no exception. And so you can see where the government is interfering and where the attacks is being directed to us. But also, I'm going to talk a little bit about Fred Mitchel. I'm going to talk a little bit about Fred Mitchel in a moment. And I'm going to let you hear the vile, disgusting, evil voice note that he sent out about us. Being a man in his position, being in charge of foreign affairs, and a man who's supposed to be a diplomat, this man has resorted to name calling and everything else. And we're going to let you hear that with your own ears. To hear the disgusting man. And we're going to let you hear, we're going to let Dr. Marvin Rose speak from the grave about Fred Mitchel. He warned us. We're going to let Dr. Marvin Rose speak from the grave about that same Fred Mitchel. We're going to let you see video clips of Fred Mitchel and what he really thinks about the Haitian people that he is now seems to be concerned about. The real Fred Mitchel. Yes, the real one. And so we're going to talk about Fred Mitchel in a minute, and we're going to get to that. So here we go. So I want you to watch this one. I want you to watch how the Department of Forestry, did an interview, and they spoke the truth. And they did it because we put out a video showing the timeline of how long this thing has been going on. Because they were blaming me. And I took down 500 acres. I mean, a big, huge lie, and impossible also. Listen, that's a mammoth task. And so they were blaming me. And we actually showed the timeline in our last live on Sunday. We showed that this has been going on for a very long time. And now they were stuck. And of course, I think someone approached them and asked them about it. And they were forced to put out this statement saying that it was being cut down to coal. I want you to watch this, and then I want you to watch how they got a call. And that call told them, no, you got to switch the narrative. Watch how these government ministries have become political prostitutes. Watch this.
Or Cowpen Road area, you may want to be on the lookout for unauthorized land clearing. The forestry director says hundreds of acres of forest are being torn down to make charcoal, while several government agencies
Did that video just freeze? Listen, man, these people will do anything to keep the truth. Let's see if we get
in
it.
the Carmichael or Cowpen Road area, you may want to be on the lookout for unauthorized land clearing. The forestry director says hundreds of acres of forest are being torn down to make charcoal, while several government agencies.
Oh, wow, the video stopped again. The video stopped again. Listen, I don't know how this is happening, but this video is being interfered with. I guess they don't want you to see this. I'm going to push it out again.
In the Carmichael or Cowpen Road area, you may want to be on the lookout for unauthorized land clearing. The forestry director says hundreds of acres of forest are being torn down to make charcoal, while several government agencies.
Wow. That video is being stopped. Listen, like this is literally happening right now in front of you live. Let me try that one more time, and then we'll just have to play it from another device or something.
In the Carmichael or Cowpen Road area, you may want to be on the lookout for unauthorized land clearing. The forestry director says hundreds of acres of forest are being torn down to make charcoal, while several government agencies.
Somehow, I don't know how it is happening, and I'm a computer science. That video is being stopped. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just play the audio from it, and I'm going to play it. No, let me play it directly from the Facebook article. Oh no, I have to play it from here. All right, let me.
You may want to be
on
the lookout
one sec.
for
Let me just play it from my other
unauthorized land
device.
clearing.
All right, let me just play it from my other device and see
In the Carmichael or
how
Cowpen
that
Road
works.
area, you may want to.
Okay, I'll just play it from my other device. This is shocking. Someone doesn't want y'all to hear this, and something is going on. Hold on, let's go. What in the world is happening?
In the Carmichael or Cowpen Road area, you may want to be on the lookout for unauthorized land clearing. The forestry director says hundreds of acres of forest are being torn down to make charcoal, while several government agencies.
What? How is this happening? Let's try this another way. Like, I don't know. Listen, there's such a conspiracy to silence the masses. And people may not understand, but this is happening in real time. This is happening for real. Try that again. This is shocking to me. Okay, let me try something. Got to override it. This is shocking to me. I don't know to what extent this government would go to silence us, but I know one thing: that news story was pulled, and something else was put out in its place. We see what we got it.
Road area. They want to be on the lookout for unauthorized land clearing. The forestry director says hundreds of acres of forest are being torn down to make charcoal, while several government agencies are trying to catch and stop the culprits. There's an appeal to the public for help.
I'd recommend that they contact the police, but specifically the location at JFK, Western Police Station. That station has been active because that's the jurisdiction for that station. I'd recommend they contact there and make a report, not just at the station itself, but also 919, so it's monitored. And so these calls are being monitored, and usually they would either call myself or they call my colleague at DEPP to notice that, hey, these actions are happening. And so even though we can't do active patrols, we could at least monitor it, we could log it and say that there's still pressure.
Hey. Wow, to get that to play, I literally had to take my device off the internet. That was interesting. So I don't know what's going on there. But that was the news story that went out today. And as you can see, it was said that this stuff was happening. The trees were being cut down to do coal. And they actually asked you to call them and to speak to them, and that it would go through to them, and they'll pay attention to it. And I have this message for that director, that so-called director of forestry. Director of Forestry, we called y'all. We called all of y'all, including the police, including 911. None of you showed up. Now you are appealing to the public to call you? Why? Y'all ain't gone and cover up that coal mining operation in the Baghdad. Now you are calling on the Bahamian public to call you? The entire Bahamas saw us call you, and none of you showed up. To this day, not one of you have showed up to the scene of the crime. Not one of you showed up to the scene of the crime because you didn't get permission to, for political reasons. You are all corrupt. You have admitted that you are corrupt. Why? Because you have said on the radio that you would go to try to deal with these Haitians doing what they're doing, and then you would get a call telling you to leave it alone. That's corruption. If you're the director of forestry, who can call you and tell you to leave that alone? No one can call you and tell you to leave that alone. You're the director of forestry. So it means that you are corrupt, and you should be investigated after making that statement. Because how could someone call you, you're the boss, and tell you to leave it alone when our country is under attack? So all of you are corrupt and selling out while our country burns. You are sitting down and doing nothing. Madam Forestry Director, I believe that you are corrupt because you have yet to show up. And after making the statement you made just now, after making that statement, this is what you sent out afterwards because you wanted to correct it. You said, Daniel Hanek, you said, in regards to the statement given by our News Bahamas, grateful if it can be retracted / corrected to reflect as follows. Residents surrounding the forest areas are encouraged to call the Western Police Station to report any unauthorized land clearing activities. According to our records, there are no issued permits within these areas to harvest protected trees. To date, there have been illegal land clearing activities within the Carmichael and Coral Harbor area forest, meaning that potentially thousands of protected trees have been harvested illegally. Because of this increase in felled trees, there have been an increase in the production of charcoal, which is an illegal activity in the Bahamas. The Forestry Unit, along with other government departments, are working along with the Attorney General's office and the Royal Bahamas Police Force to stop the activities. Now, here is what she said. There are no permit to harvest protected trees. Now, before, remember, they were saying to you that the whole area was a forest. It was a protected forest. Remember that? And all of a sudden, that changed because that was a lie. And they had to change that lie. It's not government ministries lying to the Bahamian public and come and admit that it was not a protected forest, that it was just crown land, just like Lincoln was saying from the beginning. And now they're focusing on the protected trees part of it, because it is not illegal to cut down trees. It is illegal to cut down protected trees or trees over a certain diameter, which we've been saying from the beginning. And so these lying ministries are a disgrace. And they're doing this as a political ploy just to attack us. You can see my broadcast is a little fuzzy, so that's when you know the broadcast is being attacked. You can see it isn't very clear. All right, that means that the broadcast is being attacked. All right, they're trying to manipulate it. So stay focused on this. And they go on, they go on to say that coal mining is an illegal activity. But before they say that, it says because of this increase in felled trees, this is the narrative that the PLP is trying to sell, that because of the increase in felled trees or trees being cut down, there has been an increase in the production of coal. So in other words, there's only been an increase in the production of coal because of the felled trees. These people are demonic. These people are evil. These illegal immigrants have been cutting down trees for decades. For decades. Now, she got another one of those calls telling her to say that because that's the PLP narrative. That they are making coal because we cut down the trees. The truth of the matter is, as we said, where the recent Bahamians have occupied, the tree is still there. We showed you that yesterday. Should we show you again? Yes, let's show you again, Miss Forestry.
Yeah, that they say that the Bahamians cleared down. This is the area they refer to. I think this is what the government was referring to as the Lincoln Bain area. I don't know why they refer to it as that. I don't have any interest in this area at all. but they said that this is the area that Bahamians had cleared down. You can see this is what they're blaming Bahamians of. And one thing you can see is that all of the wood in this area, I'm not going to say who cleared down or didn't clear down, but all of the wood is still in this area. All of the wood is still in this area. And that is because those illegal immigrants were stopped from coming in this area. Bahamians stopped them from coming in this area. Look in the background, all you can see is the wood is right there.
Bahamas, what do you see? All I see is wood. I ain't saying who cut it down. I'm saying I see wood. So this is the areas where they said the Bahamians are currently occupying, that they just started to occupy. All I see is wood. It's right there. So what are these people? What kind of investigation have these fools been doing? I can tell you one thing, none of them have spoken to me. Danielle or Daniela, whatever she calls herself, she's never spoken to me. She could have come to me and I was giving her a tour and I'd tell her everything that has happened in the back there. I'd tell her everything we did and didn't do. She could have come to me. And I would have walked with her the whole area and showed her what is what and who is who. I would have shown her. But they never asked me nothing. They never asked none of those Bahamians who they say did stuff in this area. They never asked them nothing. But all of this wood is still right here. See it there?
The wood is still in this area. It's right there. And so they say that the Haitians are taking the wood from what Bahamians cleared down, but the wood isn't there. Bahamians stopped the Haitians from coming here and clearing down. As far as you can see, if you look, all the wood is right there. All the wood from this area is still in this area. If you look far to the back, I'm really zooming in because I'm far from there. All the wood is still right there. And all of the areas where they are alleging that Bahamians have taken over, the wood is not moved. So how is it that they're now accusing Bahamians of clearing down and saying that the Haitians are making coal with the wood that the Bahamians cleared down? No, the wood is still right there. Bahamians stopped them from coming in this area, and that's why the government is fighting the Bahamians, because they want the Haitians to come in this area and take control. We were getting in their way of their multi-million-dollar coal business, and that's what their problem is. But all in this area, or any area that they were accusing Bahamians of being in, the wood is right there, because we stopped them.
So those evil, demonic liars, those political prostitutes are spreading this false narrative, this fake narrative, trying to blame us for clearing down all this land. We showed in our last live the truth. And we're going to do an actual video showing more. We're going to show you as they clear down. We're going to do a Google Earth video. And we're going to send it out on WhatsApp. We're not going to do a live with it, unless you want me to do a live with it. But we're going to show you as they clear down. We're going to show you the kills. We're going to show you the coal mines. As they clear, we're going to show you the clear mines from years ago. As they cleared, we're going to show you exactly where they have the kills. You could see it from space. We're going to show you. This area cleared, here's the kill. The kill is what they call the coal mine, where they make the gold. You see, we're going to show you that, because this government is lying and diabolical. I could do it now, but I don't want this live to be too long. But this government is evil and diabolical. They're just trying to fight Bahamians. They don't want Bahamians to have nothing. If y'all want me to do it, I can set up and I can do it, but I'm going to do a video that outlines, shows you, here's where they cut down, and here's where they put the kill. I'm going to show you that because this government is lying. And when you have your government agencies lying to the Bahamian people, that's a serious indictment. And so she's saying that because of the clearing down, the coal has increased. That is not true. That is not true. They've been doing this. It's been happening. Farmers have been complaining. Look at this farmer.
Another one. This in the Cowpen Road, Recrusher area. You see that, Bahamas? Look at it good. See all the way over there? See how it spread all over the trees? See it go straight down there? Where they building that big church through the corner where they have the flea market. See all of that? It low to the trees. See it coming there higher? See there? Look at it good. Coming right out to Cowpen Road. And later on tonight, that'll be all the way down here where I live. Only in the Bahamas, you know, right there close by Claridge Farm. Coal kill, more than one.
And there were so many videos just like this that was shared. We have shown videos where the Haitians were caught with chainsaws cutting trees. We caught them. We caught them burning trees. Wherever you saw Bahamians went recently, if they cleared down any trees, it was trees that was already burnt, destroyed. And very few of it was actual clearing down. All of that was already cleared down. Maybe 1 or 2% was actually Bahamians doing some other stuff. But that was, and we showed you this. These people were clearing down from that time, from years ago, from 2016, 17, 18. They've already started their stuff. And as they cleared, they were making coal. And they cleared more then. And we showed you that it was already cleared. Why is the government, with all this evidence, still lying? The government has access to the same software that I showed you in my last live. But they chose to lie instead because they just want to eventually attack me. That's all they want to do. And so I'll switch off that for a second. I see Dennis Cates in it. That's him, the farmer from Cowpen Road. Yeah, that's the farmer from Cowpen Road. Yes, that is Dennis Cates. That is Dennis Cates. If Dennis Cates wants to join, I could let him join. I'll have to send him a link to the Dennis Cates. You want to join this live and say some of this before I move on to the homosexual chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party. So Dennis Cates, if you want to join, let me know quickly. Let me know. Just waiting, because I know there's a little delay. Dennis Cates, you want to join in on this live? I think what I'll have to do is call you on the other device. That'll be the quickest way instead of trying to get you set up. You don't have to do video. We could just call you in if you want. So let me know. Just send a text and let me know if you want to do that. All right. Okay, so I tried to get Alfred Gray, Renard Wells, and Mitchell and Pintar. Dennis Cates, I'm going to just call you and let you have your say. I have no problem with doing that. Okay, he says he wants to come in. I'm going to call you via WhatsApp call. It'll just be a voice. I could bring you on the video, but I think I'll have to send you a link and do all that stuff, so I don't want to go through all that. Let's go. Let me search for you. I want you to hear from this farmer who's been in the back there for a long time. I'm going to call wrong one. Calling the wrong case. Okay. There you go. Let's get Dennis Cates on the line.
No, that's the right number. That's the right number.
All right, Dennis. How you doing?
I'm blessed and highly favored.
Awesome. It's always good to hear your voice.
You too, my brother.
Yeah, because when you speak, you always speak truth.
I'm blessed and highly favored. Awesome. It's always good to hear your voice.
Turn down your Facebook.
Yeah, when you speak, you always speak truth.
Turn down your Facebook so you don't have the feedback.
That's better now?
Yeah, turn it all the way down.
Okay, how's that?
All right, perfect. So Dennis, you heard what these forestry people have said recently about about the cutting down just starting to happen because people were clearing recently. I mean, how do you feel about that based on your experience over the last several years?
Well, I could go back as far as 2007 from I really started to get radical about this. My daughter was in high school at Anatole Rogers, and she started to get sick. And I thought she just had asthma. But eventually I found out it was the smoke from the coal kiln that was seeping into our home.
Wow.
So I approached these people. Now, I've always spoken about it because my father used to speak about it, but it got drastic. After 2010, it started to get worse. My daughter started to get sicker. In 2013, I raised the roof because I went to Alfred Gray, who was Minister of Agriculture at the time, and I said, listen, the Ministry of Health seems to be on mute. All right? I talked to Eric Carey from the Bahamas National Trust. He told me that's not his jurisdiction.
What?
You understand me? And everything fell on deaf ears. So when Renwood Wells came in, I said, yeah, this could be the straw that break the camel back. But guess what? I was in for a surprise. You understand me? He told me, yeah. But this yeah meant no. And then when Michael Pintard, my best friend, became the Minister of Agriculture, I said, I got it. We can stop this. It's a police officer that lived on Golden Arch Road. Man, he was terrified by this. He was terrified by this. And I can be honest with you. It got to the point where I couldn't take it no more. So I started tearing these coal kilns apart. And then the police tell me I have to stop.
What?
When the fire department would come, because I would call the police and the fire department, when they would come, they tell me, listen, you gonna get hurt, these people will kill you. I said, well, either they kill me or I kill them. But this is killing my daughter. It was so serious in the village, right in the back of me. A Haitian take a cutlass to chop me up. And I had a pickaxe. I said, buddy, either you kill me or I kill you. And then the police came and he ran. And the police tell me, oh, you can't do this no more. I said, well, nobody can stop me from doing this. You all are not doing your job. They said, this ain't our job. I said, wait, listen here. You all say, conflict resolution. I said, I'm a Bahamian citizen. Anywhere in the world you could tell me an illegal alien could come into my country and destroy my country and my life and my daughter's life.
Wow. Wow.
So the first time I'm hearing about the forestry was from a friend of mine named Kirk Wilson, who lost his life. He was the first one that brought it to my attention because I'm the president of the Farmers Association. And he brought it to my attention that, hey, he had to go and pay $25 per tree. And when he got there, the Haitians were cutting the trees down with chainsaw. And I went in the back there and I tried to carry Michael Pintard in the back there with Ron Millers, because they had about 20-something coal kilns in the back there.
What?
And I was upset. And Michael never came. He made me wait and never came. He told me he had an emergency, couldn't come. But he never came. And I can tell you the honest goodness truth. I was horrified to know that Bahamians have to go through this. People were saying, oh, this fog is no, it's not.
No.
It is the draft to mix with the soot from the coal kiln that is destroying the Bahamian people health
You understand me? On our forestry.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah, I got an emergency right now. Someone's knocking at the door. Okay. Thank you for your input, man. Thank you too. All right, see you later. We're gonna win this fight. Yes, we're going to win this. We can stand strong. Enough is enough. Yes. All right, see you later. Would love to have some more from Dennis Gates. He said he had an emergency. Someone's knocking at his door. But you know, farmers and people in this whole area has been going through this for so long, and they're trying to make it seem like this is some new phenomenon. Like this is just happening now all of a sudden. That is a lie from the pits of hell. I remember going to drop to the airport one morning and driving back that back way and could not see for the pollution. Could not see right in front of the car. I remember that. And smelling it, because it's like, this isn't fog, because you could smell it. People in that community has been complaining for years and years and years, and because the government wants to attack the Bahamians who are just going to farm and crown land, they're saying anything. They're now blaming the coal mining on us. Instead of dealing with the situation, they're blaming the coal mining on us. Because it ain't the illegal immigrants or legal immigrants, it's us. We are the ones who stopped them. And all of you saw this on video. Or you saw when we stopped them from collecting the wood in the area where they was burning and then collecting the wood. You saw it. You saw when they tried to put a gate to block us out. You saw it. The government saw it too. But instead, they're trying to blame us. Why? Because they want some excuse to move us. They're talking about doing some petition in order to tell us that we shouldn't be there. Some nonsense. They said they want the Golden Isles people to do a petition to get us to remove, to get us to move. All right. Listen, that's actually Killarney. That area is Killarney, actually. If you're talking about constituencies, all right. But we understand what's going on there. Now, I'm gonna switch off that and get to Fred Mitchell. You know, someone said, you know, they don't want me to make any homophobic statements. I'm not homophobic. Yeah, I've hired known homosexuals at businesses I've worked with. I'm not homophobic at all. I don't fear any homosexuals. That's what homophobic means. If a man and a man or a woman and a woman want to do whatever they want to do together, that's on them. Once no children are involved, that's between them and their God, if they have a God. And in my business, to say that someone is a homosexual actually is not defamation. It's not, because now if you sue me to say that calling you a homosexual is defamation, you're saying that something is wrong with homosexuals. You are saying that. If you say it is defamation. Think about that. All right? Homosexuals are a part of our society. And we just keep it real. Fred Mitchell, just be real. Just be real. The Bahamian public is not homophobic. Otherwise, you would never have been in the House of Assembly. The entire Bahamian public believes that you are a homosexual, and I'm not attacking you. That's homosexual. There's nothing wrong with that. I'm not using any slur, any bad word about it. I'm not saying anything positive or negative about it. I'm just saying it for what it is. The entire Bahamian public believes that you are homosexual. There are many homosexual lawmakers around the world. If you Google it, you will see it. There are many lawmakers who are homosexual. If you call them homosexual, are you defaming them? There are many homosexual lawmakers. Google it quick. Homosexual politicians. Let's see what comes up. List of LGBT politicians in the United States. Wow, it comes right up.
So it's not bad. It's not homophobic. All right. Richard Grinnell, Director of National Intelligence. He's a Republican. He's an openly gay member. Pete Buttigieg, we know him, is very popular. All right. He's the Secretary of Transport. All right. Jim McGreevey. When they refer to them, if they refer to them as LGBT or homosexual or gay, there's another one, Kate Brown. She's openly bisexual. And so for us to say that, someone is a homosexual politician, that is not defamation. Because we're not saying anything wrong. We're not attacking homosexuals by saying that. We're just saying what we believe he is, based on our opinion of him, based on his actions of always defending the LGBT mindset, based on our opinion of him trying to put that number 4 bill in there to push in gay marriage. That's our opinion of him. All right, and many people have that opinion of him. Based on his behavior, he acts in a very ladylike way. Very vindictive, very vicious. I'm trying to use adjectives that I may have gone wrong there, because I'm trying to be careful what I say. But Fred Mitchell, in my opinion, you are as homosexual as they come. I'm not insulting you, I'm not saying anything bad. That's you, that's you. You 68 now. You probably ain't even gonna run no more. Just come out and say it. Just come out and say it. But we don't have time to be powder puffing and messing around. Just come out and say it. Because I'm about to play something from Fred Mitchell that was very womanish. All right. I don't mean anything against women by saying that, but it's bad when a man is womanish. It's good when a woman is womanish, but it's bad when a man is womanish. And Fred Mitchell, you are womanish. And I couldn't get mad at him with this, in school, the girls always have this gay friend, and they cling to them and they like them and they're very funny and they're emotional with them and they like being around them. And so that's Fred Mitchell. He's very good at what he does in Fox Hill. Everyone likes being around him. He's a politician, and he's like that gay friend who hangs with the girls in high school. That's Fred Mitchell. All right, he's a good MP. He's always there. He will be there for you, buddy. He will be there for you. You're having your wedding, your funeral, whatever you call it, he could be there. If he got to cut himself in half, he could be there. Good member of parliament. But he's like that, gay classmate that all the girls, gravitate to. They love being around him, and no one better touch him. That's how it is. All right. So, Fred Mitchell, this is Pride Month. Show some pride and admit to the whole Bahamian public that you are homosexual. This is Pride Month. You got a whole month. All right. So, Fred Mitchell, this is the vitriol that you, as the chairman, as the homosexual chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, this is the vitriol that you did. You are calling people idiots, stupid, and all these kinds of stuff. This is the chairman, a diplomat. Listen to the diplomat, Bahamas. Listen to the diplomat.
For the city of Freeport. I was saddened to learn of the specter of violence hitting us below the belt again. The story is that of a 13-year-old boy killed because some idiot, angry over a gambling game and fired shots across a park, hitting and killing this young boy, 13 years old. He's a student at the L.W. Young School, which is in Fox Hill. I extended condolences to the school, and on behalf of the PLP, I do so now to his family, and that family I know must be devastated by this senseless act. We must do all we can to get the guns off the street, which is why I am reminded of that stupid act by one of those activists who claims he's wants to lead our country, and who did this stupid publicity shot with a video in which he identified himself as shooting a gun off, an assault weapon. Of course, he comes now with another video saying that he's Satan or one of his agents. You know, the PLP condemned this previous stupid and irresponsible act of firing a weapon into the air, and now we see with the death of this young man how this simple example of stupidity, firing a gun into air, threatening to kill Haitians, stealing government land and claiming it is an act of patriotism when it is an act of self-aggrandizement, can lead to the death of an innocent 13-year-old boy. He is in fact as guilty as the murderer himself. There is no other word for his actions but stupid, stupid, stupid. Till next time, God bless you. God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And as we say, how stupid it is to have fired that gun in the air and be stealing government land. It's still on this day. PLP, all the way.
Fred Mitchell? You like that one gay uncle in the family. Love you, bro. Fred Mitchell went totally kindergarten. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. You hear how he went? Fred Mitchell, I mean, he couldn't even stop. Even when he normally says, and as the saying goes, or whatever, how he normally ends, he went back into it. He couldn't go straight into PLP all the way. He had to go back into it. You're gonna listen to this again, man. Listen, Fred, I can't be mad with you. I mean, this is cute. This is cute. You know, this is cute. You're listening to Fred again, man, because Fred wanted you all to hear this. Fred wanted you all to hear this.
I was saddened to learn.
Let me fast forward a little bit. Let me fast forward.
After the PLP, I do so now to his family, and that stupid act by one of those activists who claims he's wants to lead our country, and who did this stupid publicity shot with a video in which he identified himself as shooting a gun off, an assault weapon. Of course, he comes now with another video saying that he's Satan or one of his agents. You know, the PLP condemned this previous stupid and irresponsible act of firing a weapon into the air, and now we see with the death of this young man how this simple example of stupidity, firing a gun into air, threatening to kill Haitians, stealing government land and claiming it is an act of patriotism when it is an act of self-aggrandizement, can lead to the death of an innocent 13-year-old boy. He is in fact as guilty as the murderer himself. There is no other word for his actions but stupid, stupid, stupid. Till next time, God bless you. God bless the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. And as we say, how stupid it is to have fired that gun in the air and be stealing government land. It's still on this day. PLP, all the way.
Y'all, please don't be mad at Fred. Y'all, please don't be mad at him. Listen. Oh, Lord. It reminds me of my favorite cereal one time ago, Fruity Pebbles. Oh, my God. Fruity. Now, the disgusting part about what our Uncle Fred did was he used the occasion of that young man's death and made it political and made an evil attack while talking about his death. And not only did he do that, he actually blamed me for that young man's death. Did you all hear that? This national diplomat actually used me, blame me, for the young man's death. I hope that didn't go over any of your heads. He said that and he even went on to say that I am as guilty as the gunman. This is what a government official is saying. Because I did something that was very legal. All of a sudden, like how they blamed us for the coal mining, now he's blaming me for the death of this young man. They were blaming me for the floods in Carmichael Road. They are blaming me for everything in this country now, I guess. This is absolutely disgusting. He went on his website, Bahamas Uncensored. You know, when he's out of power, he calls it Fred Mitchell Uncensored, and when he goes in government, he calls it Bahamas Uncensored. And he actually on there said that he actually met with me at the deathbed of a mutual friend, and I told him that he used to be a role model or something like nonsense like that. Fred Mitchell, I ain't never been near you and no bad ever. Don't mix me up. I will never go near you and no bed. If I in a hospital visiting someone and they in a bed and you show up, I gone. Don't mix me up, Fred. In that voice note, he said that I said that I was Satan and the, what do you call it, the worker of Satan or something like that. I mean, lies. These people have lost their minds. I mean, you can put on Bahamas Uncensored, me and him been by someone that bad. I do crazy. Fred, I think you're losing it. All right. So let's see the real Fred. What I'm gonna have to do is I was gonna do a screen share. To show this, but it's gonna be difficult in a bunch of what you call it. So I'm gonna try to bring in another device. And while I'm doing this, I want to actually, you know, Fred Mitchell was wrong for what he did to bring all of this nonsense in while talking about the death of that young man. That was wrong, and that is evil and very immature, and no diplomat should do that. No leader should do that. I want to say at this time that I give my condolences, and I apologize on behalf of Fred Mitchell, and I give my sincerest condolences to that young man who lost his life. It should never happen. Some people say he was gambling. It doesn't matter. No one deserves to die. That many of us gamble. You go to the web shop, you go in a casino, you play. It doesn't matter if he was gambling. That's a young man who lost his life, and that's what we should be focusing on. Fred, you should not be focusing on blaming an activist for the death of that young man. You should be blaming your government for not doing anything about crime, but sitting down and blaming the parents. You are the government. You are the government. And instead of dealing with the murder and the crime that's going on, the government was sending police officers and scores of patrol cars into the bush to watch old ladies farm, attacking me, focusing on a legal gun, done the right way. I've been carrying a gun all my adult life. Joined the police force at 18. I've been carrying a gun from 18 years old. Never harmed anyone unlawfully with a gun. Never threatened anyone, never got in any trouble. Never been an upstanding citizen up to this point. So Fred Mitchell, I'll advise you to stop while you're here. I'm about to play something, Fred. I'm about to play something. I want you to understand, Fred, stop. And I know you don't normally stop, because I remember the fight between you and Dr. Miles Monroe, where you started attacking him because he was speaking his truth. Fred, I was a police. Police know stuff. Police go to people's condos or apartment or whatever you call it. and they see these, they see stuff. And while you might not remember a police officer's face that comes to your house to deal with a bad breakup, the police officer may remember the person's face. I can leave that right there until you respond again. Because I know politicians who have some bad breakups. But I can leave that right there. And so I want to bring this in because all of a sudden people seem to be worried about the Haitians, but they don't seem to remember what's really going on. These people seem to have an agenda, and I want you to see what's really going on. Fred, you too old for this. We ain't complaining about you making all these trips and stuff, Go make your trips, go fly away, go do what you're doing. You're 68. I'm not interested in all this back and forth and this nonsense. Now, let me... All right, let me remove this, and then I'll lock you up. Camera, switch camera. Okay, set, line it up. Okay, I'm gonna go live on that camera. I want you all to see this. I gotta do it this way because I couldn't line up the screen share. I'm sorry, but I want you all to see this stuff. And that. All right. So yeah, oops. That's something that's so long. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I was trying to get a different device and I thought that would work, but it was doing the thing. Yeah, this software that we use that you're now looking at. Let's move that from there. Where everything go? Uh-oh. What is that? Okay. I don't know what happened there, but we got a couple of stuff. Yeah, we just wanted you all to see. And this is one of them. Fred, had an issue with Dr. Miles Monroe at one point. Oh boy, I don't think I'm going to be able to do that. Let me see. Hold on. Give me one sec. Trying to get this thing done. I'm sorry. What's happening there? Is that it? No. Is that it? Yes. Good. Let me see if I could get the sound off of this. Nah, not gonna. Okay, give me one.
Okay, we had a whole interruption in broadcasters now, trying to get us back on. Oh, everyone can't see me because it's dark. Okay, we're gonna get this back up. We're gonna get this back up here right now. We are so sorry about all of that, man. Listen.
There we go. So we are so sorry for that interruption in broadcast. Humbly apologize for that. But we were trying to pull up some videos for you all, some old school videos, and these are videos that actually show the truth about Fred Mitchell. We'll do that another time. I guess you're supposed to see that tonight. But these were very interesting videos that would have reminded you about a lot that has gone on over the past years. I know one of these videos was with Fred Mitchell and Dr. Miles Monroe. Fred Mitchell and Dr. Miles Monroe, and Dr. Miles Monroe reminded him that he shouldn't be talking about his agenda. Oh wow! It looks like I can show it now. I don't know what happened. Let's see if you can hear this. I'm so sorry about this. Let's see something. I want y'all to. No, it's not. Okay, that's not gonna work. All right, so we were trying to get y'all to see these videos. Sorry about all this technical stuff going on here. We'll fix that for y'all next time. Right? So yeah, one of them was with Dr. Miles Monroe and Fred Mitchell, where Dr. Miles Monroe was talking about Fred Mitchell and his agenda. Fred Mitchell came back and said, listen, if y'all hate gays, y'all just let us know. I couldn't believe that, he actually came out and said that, and he actually came and stood up for the gay and his gay community. And Dr. Miles told him that he has a horse in the race, so he shouldn't be going around, talking about this kind of stuff. I wish I could get that out there for you. But it'll be kind of difficult to do that now. We actually showed a bunch of videos that showed what Fred Mitchell and them and those guys did to the Asian diaspora. They seem to have forgot that it was them who were called the Gestapo, etc., and they were abusing the Haitians. They were dragging the children from their parents' arms. They were doing that. They were the ones abusing the children. They were the ones doing all of these vile acts. They were the ones. Them. I really want you to see this. Because, see, we tend to forget so quickly that it was Fred Mitchell and those who were being accused of certain things. And then you had immigration officers trying to enforce the law, and they were being abused, beaten, and injured by the illegal immigrants. And the person in charge of immigration was putting an appeal out there, that this shouldn't happen. They had one police officer who was interfering. Police officer, it looks like a police officer of Haitian descent, who was interfering. The immigration went to lock up some illegal immigrants, and the police stopped them. This stuff has already happened. You're thinking that this stuff is going to happen in the future. This has already happened. This has already happened. You know what? Y'all gotta see this. I want to make sure that y'all see this. There's no way we're going to leave this live without you seeing exactly what has gone down and where we are. Because if we don't take a stand now, we're going to be in trouble. We have to take a stand, and we have to do that now. Our country is under invasion, and our politicians have sold out to the highest bidder. And I'm telling you now, you could choose to not take a stand if you wish. But we got one country. And at the end of the day, y'all are going to not be able to say that I didn't say something. If some of y'all don't want to say something, don't want to do something, then that's on y'all. But I know one thing. I would have spoken my mind. So I'm just going to find a little quick way to hack this up. I want y'all to see these videos of your minister, your diplomat, the reality. I want you to see the reality. Just give me a second. I'm going to pull these up. Because there's a reality that's going on. There was officers who were crying out. There was officers who were injured. There were Haitian leaders who spoke out. I want to thank all my Haitian people who are actually contacting me and saying that, Lincoln, there's no worries. We understand what you are saying. We fully understand. You don't hate Haitians. Getting calls every day from them. I don't. But come on, man. We can't sit down and let our country be destroyed. Yes, there's a humanitarian issue going on. We can't sit down and let our country be destroyed while boatloads of people are coming in every day. Every single day. And it's like there's nothing that we can do. Nothing. I mean, Fred Mitchell was so vicious that even him and Brent Simonet went at it, because Fred Mitchell was saying that Brent Simonet wasn't doing enough to get rid of these Haitians. Now all of a sudden everyone has forgotten. The Haitians have forgotten what really went down. I'm just compiling. I got one more. Last one. And so I've compiled them. I'm going to take it, and I'm going to go from device to device. I was trying to do it from my laptop because I want you to see this. Because when I saw it, it really, really disturbed me. So I'll play it from this device. It should work properly. I'll just put it in front of the device. The first one that you're going to see is Miles Monroe when he addressed Fred Mitchell. I had everything lined up perfectly. Let me see if I could get this lined up for you perfectly. All right. I'm taking my time with this for a reason. I want you all to see what is really going on in this country. So they're going to attack us anyway. So we might as well do what we have to do and say what we have to say. This is the reality. This was the response of Miles Monroe to Fred Mitchell at the time.
Topping news tonight, recent comments by Foreign Affairs Minister Fred Mitchell on lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender matters have sparked a good deal of reaction since they were reported by the National Guardian 2 weeks ago. Now, a prominent religious leader says Mitchell should be removed from his position. Kendia Dame sat down with Dr. Miles Monroe at Bahamas Faith Ministries International today and has the details. Dr. Monroe expressed concerns about the signals Mitchell is sending to the international community on the LGBT issue. He said the foreign minister ought not confuse his personal beliefs with his national obligations. Speaking recently in Trinidad, Minister Mitchell said his political career suffers because of his position on lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender issues. He urged tolerance for people in this category and pushed for the protection of their rights. But Dr. Monroe said today that Mitchell does not represent the convictions of a majority of Bahamians. He said this is why the Prime Minister should replace him.
My concern about the foreign minister at the moment is that socially, culturally, and agenda-wise, he has a horse in the race, which relates to his position as foreign minister. And much of the fight for the rights of LGBT at present is external. And he's the foreign minister, which means that he can go out and actually sell his private agenda, his personal agenda, to the global stage. And we not know he's doing it because he has a horse in that race. To me, that disqualifies him from being a foreign minister because I think he will lack objectivity. He will lack representation of the majority of the Bahamian people. And the Prime Minister needs to take that into consideration.
Dr. Monroe said he's concerned about certain positions that violate the norms of our society and bring into question natural law.
We must define ourselves as who we are as a people. And when you start selling your national standards on the altar of being accepted by a global environment that has no respect for your local convictions, then we might as well don't exist as a country.
Facing criticisms on these matters recently, Mitchell said he always checks home first before pronouncing on any policy. Here was Monroe's response to that.
That makes me even more concerned because is he suggesting that his party has already taken a position on LGBT? We know nothing about that. And I hope that someone responds to that, including the Prime Minister, because if that is so, then we have issues with the PLP. And we have issues, and those issues will have to be brought out because people in these constituencies have their positions on these things. And if those representatives in the House are silent and he's suggesting that they all agree with that position, then the people need to find out if that is true, because I know people who don't agree with that, including in my own constituency.
Dr. Monroe said that disagreements on LGBT matters do not necessarily speak to homophobia. He said disagreement should not be confused with fair. Again, Dr. Monroe stressed that his concerns have nothing to do with personalities. He said, though, that the majority ought to take note when the minority seeks to impose their beliefs, which he says could have damaging cultural shifts. From Bahamas Faith Ministries, Candia Dames, and B12.
I share the sentiments of Dr. Miles, and this has nothing to do with homophobia, nothing to do with any of that. You have a government official and you see certain actions, you have to be concerned. And so this was Fred Mitchell's response to some of the people when he was pushing that bill. This line is up for you. This is Fred Mitchell's response. Oh, internet doesn't want to work well. Really.
Top news tonight, Foreign Affairs and Immigration Minister Fred Mitchell has asserted that homophobic and misogynistic people are attempting to defeat the constitutional amendment bills because of their own agenda. Mitchell says he thinks some MPs are simply playing politics with an issue that should be taken seriously. Kyle Joaquin reports.
Vauxhall MP Fred Mitchell says debate on the constitutional amendment bills is being twisted by people who have political motives. He says if you have an issue with gay people or women getting equal rights in the country, then you should just say so. Mitchell says he doesn't think there is confusion but mischief-making in debate on the constitutional amendment bills. On Wednesday, FNM leader Dr. Hubert Minnis raised concerns about some of the bills. This after calling for unity on the issue of gender equality just weeks ago. Port Charlotte MP Dr. Andre Wallens, Marcos City MP Greg Moss, and Bamboo Town MP Renwood Wells also asked government to reconsider the fourth bill, which seeks to end discrimination based on sex. Moss said the use of the word sex could pave the way for gay marriage. Well, Mitchell says while these are all intelligent men, some of them are bringing their personal feelings towards homosexuals and women's rights into the conversation.
If you hate gay people, why not just come out and say, I hate gay people. I don't want them to have any rights in the Bahamas, and I wish we'd do whatever with them. Just be frank, be truthful about it. Then we know what we're facing.
Yeah, so I don't even want to go into more of that. But this is his stance, is always towards a certain direction, which seems to be his personal stance. If you are gay and you're a member of a parliament, then so be it, do your job. You have no problem with that. But when your job seems to be pushing your agenda, then that's when we have another problem. All right, but Fred Mitchell has already, I mean, he's at the twilight of his career. He's had a stellar career. He's won, he's lost, he's done some things, some good things, some bad things. And so he's at the end of his career. So we don't want to go into that. But I want to show you some of these clips of even what immigration officers had to go through, because there's some concern, some serious concern as it relates to our immigration officers, what they were going through. There are people saying that immigration is out of control in this country, and this is back then. This is like, I think it was 2014 or 15 when we were going through this. And at that time, immigration officers were being attacked, etc. You see if I can pull that up for you.
Senator.
All right, let me pull it up for you quickly.
Well, immigration officials are having.
You know, there are people that come from a violent culture. Now, most of the people, the Haitians I know here in the Bahamas, are very good, calm, loving persons. But there are some persons who come from a violent culture who've come to this country. And I want you to see what the immigration officers were going through. This is 7 years ago. Watch this.
Well, immigration officials are having serious challenges carrying out the new policy, which requires all undocumented persons to leave the country.
In one instance, a man believed to be a police officer allegedly hindered immigration officers from carrying out their duties. It was all caught on a video and circulated on social media.
Janelle Ferguson spoke with officials on the matter today.
Since the new immigration policy came into effect on November 1st, senior immigration officials say they've had serious challenges while carrying out their duties. In this video, a man identifies himself as a police officer and accuses immigration officers of abusing suspected illegals. The man is seen arguing with immigration officers over the matter, and it's a situation that officer in charge of enforcement for immigration, Kirkland Neely, says is concerning as civilians and illegals hinder the department's efforts. Now, Officer Neely noted that in recent weeks, a number of his officers were injured while on the job.
Some fraction of him interfering and stuff like that. These illegals now tend to believe they're right, and whatever they do, it's supposed to be right, that they have a little backing and encouragement. But let me say, I don't want to know to them that it ain't gonna happen. That's a no-no, because I am really pissed about it. For the last month, I have had 4 officers went down by injuries from the hands of illegal immigrants. All right, these few Bahamians who are trying to be distraction and make it nice for that. I didn't hear anybody came and speak about that. I'm sick and tired of it.
Neely added that Bahamians who support illegals in these acts should be made accountable as well.
In no part of the world, no part of this world on this earth, you could have illegals injuring officers in the execution of their duty and people digging them up and giving them right. And like I said, I'm sick and tired of it, and it ain't gonna happen no more.
Now, as for the police officer involved in this matter, Neely says the case has been turned over to the police force.
Over to the police, and I'm really be dealing with that matter on a later date. One of the senior officers spoke to me earlier today, and he said that we'll be dealing with it on Monday coming.
Meanwhile, Director of Immigration William Pratt says the department remains resolute in carrying out their duties. From the newsroom, I'm Janae Noel Ferguson, ZNS Network.
And so the reason I thought it was important to show that to you is because Bahamians are not really a kind of people that will really stand up and really fight. We talk a lot, we row a lot, but we see these boats coming in. We see what's happening in Abaco. We see what's happening in Andres. And if that time, 7 years ago, the immigration officers were having problems from police officers, etc., who were from that community and fighting, to block their people from being dealt with according to the law. What do you think happen now? What do you think is going to happen when you're outnumbered? When they have their people in government, when they have their people in immigration, when they have their people in the police force, and you try to take back Abaco. And you try to take back Andres. Right now, we are being overwhelmed. We got 3,000 police officers. They can easily be overwhelmed. We are in the middle of a crisis, Bahamas. This is not xenophobia. I don't hate Haitians. No problem with Haitians. I have no problem with them coming in and working for us, coming here the right way. I have no problem with that. In New Bahamas, Bahamians are going to own this country. We can need people from all around the world to come and work for us because we ain't going to be doing the work. I have no problem against anyone from any race, but this is a reality, y'all. Of course, they're going to attack me. Well, of course, Fred is going to attack me because of what I said. That's what Fred does. So they're going to find many ways to attack me moving forward. That's what Fred does. But in terms of this is not xenophobia. I'm tired of the xenophobia against Bahamians. I'm tired of the attacks against Bahamians. We got one country. And if that's what was happening 7 years ago, what do you think is going to happen now? When they have tens of thousands of them in Abaco, in Andres, etc. You're about to lose your entire nation because politicians have sold out and they're dividing us because of politics, and you have Bahamians justifying this. They're saying things like, these are our African brothers and sisters. Ladies and gentlemen, there are boundaries. Yes, it's my African brothers and sisters. I have neighbors. In my neighborhood, I have neighbors. But my neighbor can't come in my house when they want to. They can't come in my house uninvited without permission and just go in the fridge, sleep in my children's room, move my child and put their own stuff, move my furniture around. They can't do that. There's boundaries. Which one of you will let your neighbor come in your house without permission at any time and just do what they want to do in your house? There's boundaries. This country is our house. And yes, that's our neighbor to the south, but there's boundaries. Since that's our African brothers and sisters, I want any of you to try to go and do what they do here in Haiti. I dare anyone who has that view to go into Haiti and go on someone's property and build one house, just one. Go on any property in Haiti. Since you say there's our African brothers and sisters, Go to any property in Haiti and build one house. I know what I'm saying from experience. Go build a house. A cardboard house. Any house. Go take some pallets, some crates, and build a house. If you think that's our brothers and sisters. The law in Haiti is that a foreigner cannot own land. Now, if you're married to Haitian, there's a provision where they allow it, but it is so cumbersome that it is almost impossible. All right? And so don't give me that story about African brother and sister, because you can't go from one African nation to the next illegally. Yes, that's our brothers and sisters, and we want to help them. And like I keep saying, I have done my fair share of helping them. I put my money where my mouth is as it relates to that. I don't hate Haitians, but I don't want our country to be destroyed. I want Haitians to be able to come here, work, participate in society. I don't want our nation destroyed. Haitians will overthrow their government. What you think, but y'all soft Bahamians. Who's scared of these little soft politicians we got? Y'all scared of them. What you think is gonna happen when these fellas rise up and start taking this country? They both. They all say, no, we can send you back. They say, yeah, send us back then. And Fred Mitchell them started going to the Haitian village. They started hurting them. A news crew, I'm going to show you another clip. This is the next clip. A news crew is in there talking to them. And as the news crew is there, someone, one of them said to them, I'll give you a Colombian necktie, to the news crew. They should have a cutlass in his hand and told the news crew, I'll give you a Colombian necktie. Remember, there was a young man who actually said that. And he was arrested and let go. I don't know when we're going to take this serious. At some point, if we're going to take this serious, if we're going to take this serious when it's too late, I don't know. Show you another video. Haitian leader talking about the Haitian raids that Fred them started today. Right? See how far I just go with this. 7. And this is a reality.
Topic news tonight, one day after the Haitian ambassador warned that immigration raids could give the Bahamas a bad image, a leader in the Haitian community is today speaking out against what he calls the inhumane treatment of Haitians. He says Haitian parents are now afraid to send their children to school. Kyle Walking reports.
Joel Pierre has been living in this Haitian village for 6 years now. He said what he saw on Saturday was heartbreaking. He said he has no issue with the government implementing its new immigration policy. However, he wishes it would be done in a more humane way. Joel Pierre lives in the shanty town just off Joe Farrington Road. Thankful that immigration officers have not yet hit their village, he tells MB12 how he feels the way the immigration policy has been rolled out is an injustice. With images of children being taken from their homes circulating all over the internet, Pierre says he shares the sentiments of the Haitian ambassador in saying it will leave a bad image on the Bahamas. And with some of Haitian descent publicly expressing their disgust with Bahamians and the new policy on social media, as well as rumors of an uprising, Pierre is asking for there to be calm among his fellow Haitians.
Don't be mad with the Bahamian or the Bahamian children. Don't get mad with the Bahamians. They have absolutely nothing to do with what's happening right now. It's the government. The government are doing what they're supposed to do. Let them do what they have to do. If they think it's good for the future of the country, fine. But if they think that we do an impact on the future of the country, let them think. Because I believe that everything that they do, they have to sit down before they do it.
However, just minutes after speaking with Pierre, one of the men in the village began waving his machete at our cameraman and asked if he wanted to get the Colombian necktie. Pierre said Saturday's immigration exercise has left many Haitian children afraid to even go to school.
You have children yesterday who scared. I've been receiving so much phone calls from parents that called me and say, Joel, can I send my children to school? They scared to send their children to school. Even the children, they scared. Whenever it was not like this before. They used to walk on the street with no problem because they know that's their hometown, that's their country, that's where they born. But now they scared to go anywhere. You tell them get dressed to go to school. I ain't going. Police gonna catch me. Immigration gonna take me.
This Haitian leader says he's even worried about his own children. Despite having a Bahamian passport, he still considers himself a Haitian by blood and fears for his children. He even went back to the campaign by the Progressive Liberal Party leading up to the 2012 general election, where the then opposition leader Perry Christie said there is no such thing as a Haitian Bahamian.
As I remember on a campaign time when the PLP was doing their campaign, I was there when the Prime Minister, Mr. Christie, says there is no such thing as Haitian Bahamians, no such thing as Jamaican Bahamians. Once you have a Bahamian passport, you are a Bahamian. No matter who are your mom, who is your daddy, once you have the Bahamian passport, you are a Bahamian. Okay?
Now, just like many other shanty towns across New Providence, this one is in the process of being torn down, and residents say up to just last week, there are people still living in these homes. The rubble from the home of this Haitian Bahamian is still being cleared by tractors. Mitchel said he's not really upset about the new policy, but by the fact that so many lives, including his, are being turned upside down.
Man, you got people in one house. What do you think? You think people, how much people, maybe 1,000 people, you move our village. You think all 1,000 people sleeping in them small house? They got to sleep in car, they got to sleep next people. He make next people got power over him because he can't find place to rest yet, to keep his children. It don't make sense.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Kyle Joaquin.
And Haitian nationals living in a shanty town also weighed in on the immigration raids. Simone Davis has that angle.
Following Saturday's immigration raid, many people took to social media to express how they felt about the exercises, which resulted in 77 legal migrants being held at the Carmichael Road Detention Center. Some people felt the apprehension exercise was inhumane and expressed anger and outrage, while others insisted that the raids were long overdue. NB12 spoke with a number of Haitian nationals living in a local shanty town. They say they respect the government's decision to combat illegal migration. However, they are still hurt by the way it happened.
Law is law. They have a right to do what they have to do. But it is terrible and misery. My heart even can't eat and taken, but my sisters and brothers, like it's Asian people who can't even speak English too good. So they feel like terrible. But it's still, when I say that, I'm not saying they don't have a right to do it. They do it, they have a reason why to do it.
Some Bahamians agree with the government's gesture to eliminate foreign immigrants. They say although it is sad that it has to be done in the form of a raid, it is the government's duty to fully protect the Bahamian people by any means necessary.
I do agree with the policy, and I do agree that it's about time because we don't enforce laws, especially with even our own people. And it's just a sad thing that it's a lot more Haitians than other nationalities.
For a long time, we as Bahamians, need to do something about this situation. And I am glad to see that this government has taken steps now to correct whatever problems that we're into. You have to go through a just process, right, to make sure that we treat them properly, but at the same time, we satisfy the Bahamian public.
The exercise took place on the day government's new immigration policy took effect. It requires all non-Bahamians to have a passport of their nationality and evidence that they have permission to live and work in the country. The policy also states that the Department of Immigration will not accept first-time applications for residence or work permits from those who have no legal status in the Bahamas.
I got 25 years in the Bahamas. I married 1993. I got 21 years. I am celebrate. I mean, I got my permit pass. I work on the permit.
Everybody who come on, just try to get yourself sorted, and after that, they ain't bother with nobody.
Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.
Though he admits that Saturday's raid sparked outrage among some Haitians, the Haitian ambassador says Haitians are not violent people and suggested that some people making inflammatory comments online may be of Haitian descent but were born and raised in the Bahamas. Antonio Rodriguez says Haitians are very peaceful people who contribute to this country's development.
You never heard about Haitian. I'm talking about Haitian. I'm not talking about Bahamian from Haitian descent. We never heard about Haitian being involved in crime and things like that. Look at what happened at the Shanty Town. The guy who made those comments, he's a Bahamian. He has a Bahamian passport. Born here, raised here, never been to Haiti. But when they talk about Haitian, it's not Haitian, he's a Bahamian.
The Haitian ambassador dismissed any suggestion that strong reaction from some Haitians to recent immigration raids could lead to violence, insisting that Haitians come to the Bahamas in search of a better life and should not be blamed for things that happen.
They are not like we're going to march, we are going to do this, like that. Yeah, they can have some very, frustration, but I'm going to say there are some, I know, some of the few who can be, I know, because of frustration, they would like to do this, but I can tell you, no one in the Haitian community are going to support them, to go with them, or to encourage them.
For instance, Rodriguez says Anson Ali, who made headlines last month when he threatened violence against Bahamians, is a Bahamian national of Haitian heritage, not a Haitian.
So don't blame Haitian when things happen. We are very peaceful people. We are very work hard. Haitian work hard. Look at that. The development. The Haitian are contributing greatly to the development of the Bahamas, doing jobs Bahamians don't want to do.
The Haitian ambassador suggested that Haitians stick together because they often deal with prejudice in the Bahamas. He also took exception to some Bahamians' claims that Haitians are taking their jobs, insisting Haitians get the jobs Bahamians don't want.
They feel better together. Why? Because they are rejected. They are not accepted in the Bahamian society. They are not. People treat Haitian or Bahamian from Haitian descent like all are illegal.
He says officials must take steps to integrate Haitians living here legally into Bahamian society, particularly those people born here.
The kid born here, raised here, go to school as everybody. And when he graduates from my school, all doors are closed for him. So that cannot be. They have to be some understanding. They are here to stay, and they are, the future of the country.
From the courts, a man convicted of incest in relation to the rape of his 65-year-old.
Ladies and gentlemen, the man says, yeah, the future of this country. I hope you all heard that that's how it ended. He said that these Asians are the future of this country. That's the Haitian ambassador said that the Haitians are the future of this country. In other words, he's taking over. There's some more interesting videos I wanted to share, but I'm not going to do that because of time. But I hope you all heard what I just heard. You see, if the government tried to do its job back then and they were met with violence, police officers of Haitian descent stopping them from doing their job and all this kind of stuff, we in trouble. Luby recently put out a message to his Haitian people. It was an interesting message that many of y'all may not have noticed. Luby said, right there, who can be there? Let's be there. What you have to say, bring it. This year, we will start to have the community sit with them in big places. We are not in the bush anymore. We are not in the church anymore. We are doing it in a big way, like the other places. So translated, he said. They ain't hide no more. They come in by numbers, and they're gonna outnumber us. And they can take over. Luby words still on his Facebook page. He ain't in the bush no more. He coming to do this big. Coming to take this. He said start working for them. Speak out against them, let's take Lincoln gun. The man came on news. He was on the news and threatened all Bahamians. You all play with us, we'll give you all a Colombian necktie. And the police came and saw him, talked to him, and then take his hand and say, hey, he apologized. They got that call. What's going on? What's going on, Bahamas? And then the news team went there, and another Asian fella told them, I'll give you all a Colombian necktie. As the ambassador was talking just now, you notice he was saying that the Haitians in the Bahamas are good, calm, peaceful people. He said he ain't talking about the Haitian Bahamian. So in other words, the Haitians coming here illegally is causing a problem. It's breeding a different breed of people who are behaving differently, is what he is saying. He is saying that there's something for the Bahamians to worry about. Bahamas, y'all can sit back and watch our country get taken over, but y'all can stand up. Y'all can demand that the government does something. Notice no one in the government is talking about anything to do with this. Everyone is crying out to the government that, listen, they're taking over Abaco. They're taking over Andres. They're taking over Lutra. Bryland is full of them. And the government is saying nothing. By the time as we wake up, our country will be gone. And when you all try to deal with them, they start chopping up immigration officers. And they start fighting the police. And our country could be gone because we could be outnumbered. And so the PLP may feel, okay, the numbers of the Haitians is growing. Let's give them a bunch of passports so that they can vote for us. Y'all gonna be the first set to feel the violence when the government is overthrown. Look at Haiti. Yes, they are good, sweet, honest Haitians who live in the Bahamas. But there's some violent food, that's the ones you gotta worry about. The good, sweet, honest set who live in Haiti, they don't be on the street protesting, but then the ones who protesting is the ones you gotta worry about. Not all Haitians are the same. Not all, any group of people is bad. I'm not lumping all Haitians as one. Don't put that on me. But I'm telling you, if you all don't wake up, this country gone. The Haitians are producing more fruits and vegetables in Andros right now than Bamsi on our land, while the government is fighting Bahamians. Haitians have taken over the Cowpen Road. Yes, some of them were working for Bahamians, and the Bahamians either died or went into something else, and the Haitians took their farms. And yes, people say, well, we need to focus on the other races too. The other races like the Chinese. Yeah, the Chinese are coming and buying up a bunch of buildings. It's true. And yes, we need to address that. But to address that, we need to empower our Bahamians so we can buy the buildings. Yes, the foreigners from the north, etc., the European and American foreigners are coming and they're getting all our land to build their hotels. But we need to now empower our Bahamians so that they can go and build these hotels. It's time to start talking again about our natural resources, because we're worth billions in our natural resources. But let me tell you something. The Asians are making coal now, and they've already paid off government, and you can see that. You can see how the government is attacking us to move us out of the way so they can continue doing what they're doing. The Haitians have already paid off government so they can take one natural resource. That's our wood, our trees, forests. What do you think is going to happen when the Haitians catch on to how valuable sand is and aragonite? They're going to be on their little boats collecting sand. Watch. Remember these words. Everything Lincoln says turns out to be true. And so the final thing I want to say to you, Bahamians, is that the government is seeing a lot of our ideas, and they're going to our website apparently, and they're taking our ideas and using it as theirs. They're not going to give us credit, but we want you all to realize that we put this stuff out there for all Bahamians. We put this stuff out there for all of us. What's his name? Alfred Sayers is now saying that the government is going to use the reservoir system under the park that we had recommended, that we had showed. Remember the video that was going around? We actually showed the Bahamian people how this can be done. We showed them the solution. Now Alfred Sayers is saying that this is what they're going to do in Pinewood. And so we want to thank Alfred Sayers for doing this. You know, and it took a young man from Pinewood who was a victim of this flooding for all these years, a victim, to come up and give the government an idea. And they're not going to give us the credit for it. Of course not. They're going to try to make it seem like this was their idea. And they came up with this. But the video is still on our website. And let me show you Alfred Sayers talking about it.
That will retain water, and water could be diverted to that space. That will retain water, and water could be diverted to that space. The park will be resurfaced, so it will have the same social function on the surface. But beneath the substratum of the park will be this installation that will basically retain water to be repurposed and rechanneled either to wetlands or out to the sea. So these are measures that we are taking. In addition to these flood.
And so now they're saying that they're going to do that. And you remember the video that we put out showing them exactly how to do it. Other countries that have done it. And so now they're doing it. And so this is a proud moment for us. We're not going to get the credit for it, but it's a proud moment for us to be able to have given the government this idea. We'll see if they do it. But it's a proud moment to see that, a young man from Pinewood could grow up and actually inspire the government. And we believe that they're going to do it based on information I'm getting from their meetings. They're going to do it because they feel that I'm a threat in Pinewood. I'm a political threat. And so they want to do it to say that they actually solved the flooding problem in Pinewood so that they could actually try to neutralize me politically. And so we know that based on that they're actually going to do this. And so Pinewood will benefit, and they're going to benefit because a Pinewood young man grew up and decided to not only fight them and stand up for this and speak out about it, but to actually tell them exactly how to do it. And so God is good. He gets all the praise and all the glory. They're using a lot of ideas. They're listening to us and they're following us. We're actually leading this country. We were doing the same thing when Minister was in power. They were just responding to everything we were saying and doing. We were the ones who told them. You remember we said that why couldn't the government give assistance to Walter Henschel and Lawrence Rule? These people have been feeding people, and as soon as we said that, they went and they did that. And so they're watching us, and we're leading the government right now and showing them what to do. And so a lot of things that we've been pushing out there, a lot of other things. I don't sit here and say all this stuff right now, but just open your eyes and you'll be able to see that they are watching us and they're responding to everything that we say and do. And we're really controlling the narrative right now. So we want to continue to encourage you to continue to stand up, continue to spread the message of a new Bahamas. And so again, we'll always tell you that we need your help. We can't do this alone. We need your time, we need your effort, we need you to volunteer, we need you to be a part of what we're doing. We need you to pay your dues, assist us financially, because that's what it takes. The FNM, the PLP, they raise money to get done what they want to do. And so we have to do the same thing. And so we're looking forward to continuing to assist our Bahamian people on owning their crown land, on doing what we're doing. The government is fighting us because they want to put a wrench in what we're doing, because they feel that we're going to benefit from this politically. Listen, we don't care to benefit from this politically. We care that Bahamians can get their crown land. And once we become government, we're going to make sure that every single Bahamian gets their acre of crown land, at least. That's the one you're entitled to, but you will get more. You show us you have an idea for this, an idea for that, you're going to get it. Now, lastly, our natural resources. It's time. It's time. The government is going to do this scheme where they do carbon credits, but they're going to make it so that we don't benefit from our natural resources. We keep our natural resources in the ground. We don't use them. And we get paid off for doing that. That's not acceptable. That is not acceptable. We're about to get swing Bahamas. And so I want to take just a second, because I know we've been going long. And if anyone has any special questions they need to ask of me, I'm here. You can do that now, and then we'll be going. All right. If you have any questions, please ask them now. If there's anything you need addressed, anything you don't understand, someone asks, when is the next march? Stay tuned. No, they listening and they watching. Stay tuned. Stay tuned. We coming for them. We ain't playing with them. Stay tuned. Someone says it's time to empower the organic Bahamians. Yes, I'm an organic Bahamian. I'm Lincoln Bain. I'm an organic Bahamian. I know all of my generations on every side. Son of Henry Bain, son of Michael Bain, son of Charles Bain, son of William Bain. I am at least a 10th generation Bahamian. I'm a Bahamian, true and true. And it's time for Bahamians to look out for Bahamians. Somebody says, what happened to Colombian necktie? Yeah, they took him in, they questioned him, and they let him go. They let him go. Someone said, I don't watch Rodney Monkey no more because it seems like he's encouraging these outsiders. Yes, that's what he is doing. He's doing it for attention. That's what he's doing it for. And Someone says it's dangerous. Yes, it is extremely dangerous. Someone says my family is Bahamian. Awesome, then you Bahamian. All right. Make Bahamians great. I'm a Jew. MBG. It's the MBG movement. We're gonna make Bahamians great. You're tired of seeing them shake hands with these foreigners and making them great, making them rich, making them wealthy. They come here with nothing, and then they promise us jobs. Tired of that. Tired of that. Wake up your friends and family. Wake them up. It's time for change. Yes, persons did lose their life during the Burma Road riot. They fought for change in this country. And you're right. We need to honor them. We need to make the day of the Burma Road riot a holiday in this country. Because these are the people who got it started. These are the people who stood up. You know, Bahamians have to stop being soft. Bahamians have to stop being soft. You know, a lot of the men who stood up for us as Bahamians were actually foreigners or foreign descent. And that's because Bahamians, we just too soft. Like Finland, that's foreign. Maynard, that's foreign. Bailey, Earn Bailey, Stephen Dillon, that can go on and on. There were a lot of foreign men who had to come and stand up. Because our culture is, we just do whatever master say. You're scared to get locked up. You're scared to be the one seen. These scary people. But I think that's changing. Something is happening in our DNA. Something is transforming us right now. Even your children, you see, beating don't work on them no more. Something is happening. You're tired, we're fed up. Your children, you can't fool them no more. Eat them all you want. They stare right back at you. Something is happening in the Bahamian DNA. Something is happening. And I hope you're ready for it. Right? Someone says, we are the house slaves of the Caribbean. That is true. But that is changing. I'm Lincoln Bain and I'm a runaway slave. And I'm trying to inspire you to be strong, to stand up to these politicians. That's why I speak to them the way I speak to them. To show you that they are employees. They work for us. Don't need to be afraid of them. Yeah, they could, you know, get you fired. They could do whatever, yeah. But we could fire them too. Because they work for us. Don't be afraid. These are criminals. They break the law. That's why the police is holding on my gun, giving the people who threaten me a chance to come at me. This is how evil the system is. You have politicians lying, changing their story over and over. This is how evil the system is. You got to stand up and fight. You got to stand up. Will you stand with me? Please stand. We can change this country. We can take this back. I don't care if they bring 1 million people from down south here. If we get in, we can fix that. I want to say this to my Asian brothers and sisters. You come here for a better life. If you come here for a better life, why you accept coming here and living in worse life than live back there? You're coming here and living in shanty towns. You leave your apartment in Haiti, and you come here and you live a worse life. We don't want that for you. We don't hate Haitians, but we don't feel like no human being should be living in a shanty town. Every human being deserves electricity, deserves the internet, deserves running water, deserves a proper roof over their head. You deserve that too. Once you come here legally, when you migrate to Miami, you don't live in shanty towns. I'm actually standing up for you. But the politicians are going to make you think that I hate you. I don't want shanty towns in my country. We don't want shanty towns in our country. You don't supposed to live like that. You're supposed to have dignity. And we want change. We want to own this country, and you come work for us. The rich Haitians don't leave Haiti. I know them. The rich Haitians don't leave Haiti. They let you all go, and you all send money back to Haiti. The Haitians who are there to spend in Haiti. And they make the money go back to Haiti. Haiti is a beautiful place for them. They live in their mansions, hills. There are over 800,000 millionaires in Haiti. Haiti is not what they portray in your to see. So, ladies and gentlemen, we got a country, our country's in trouble. We need you to stand with us. We need you to stand with us. The government is going to start attacking us soon. They're going to start attacking us very soon, and we need you to stand with us. We need you to stand for the right of Bahamians to benefit from our crown land. To benefit from our natural resources, our sand, our aragonite, whatever is there for us. It's our country. They say two wrongs will make it right. We ain't doing no wrong. It's our country. It's our country. To the government and to those people in government ministries, I'll speak to you all first. Those people in the government ministries that the government is telling to lie and to break the law, the police officers that the government is telling to break the law, don't let them fool you. You're about to lose our entire nation. We are being overrun like it's a zombie apocalypse. We've been overrun. We got to stand up for this. If we don't, 5-10 years from now, they're going to be saying, boy, Lincoln was talking with us and we listen, we should have listened to Lincoln. Let's fight bombs. See you next time.
And it's Bahamians aren't prepared to stand up and fight and defend their own Bahamas, then you don't deserve to have it.
Now let that sink in. Come on. Change ain't coming, change is here. You can hear it, you can feel it in the air. All politicians, put your hands in the air. Just a stick up, let me make myself clear. I'm a grown man talking, so you know what to do. No one's leaving till we figure out the truth. Why you laughing? This ain't nothing funny. So no one gets to go home till we figure out this money. Change ain't coming, change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, but change is here. They say change ain't coming, nigga, change is here. Now if you ain't standing with us, then I know you against us. Bahamas, this ain't no time for us to be lukewarm. This is war, and we riding through the storm. Come on. Let's go. Shalom to all my Hebrew brothers, to all my Muslim and Rastas, we need you, brother. I see, I know. I can't forget the Christians. Let's put our differences aside, cause it's a bigger mission. See, they've been doing this for years, trying to separate us, kinda trying to keep us down and never elevate us. Now it's time to praise the Lord, cause he's about to take us over to the promised land where we can celebrate us. I got to do it for my kids that ain't even born yet. So the minute that they born, they already gotta check that check. Gotta have that time to collect, so they won't know how it feels to have that yoke around their neck. Yeah. See, y'all been robbing my grandmother, my great-great-grandmother and grandfather. It's like y'all can't get enough. Y'all just keep eating and giving us nothing but taxes. Y'all went even as far as to say that this country's in debt and we ain't got no money. When 9 times out of 10, everybody in this country's possibly a millionaire. It's time to wake up. Let's talk about natural resources, cause every time we bring it up, they say hold your horses. They say it ain't worth a thing, but it's worth a fortune. Meanwhile, they open up their businesses across the borders. Oh yes, we track their bank accounts across the waters. They say this country in debt, but they making millions. If we don't stop this now, they be up to billions. It's about to go down and I get the feeling we gotta cut a movie on these dirty villains. Sonus Lincoln Bain and his team came with information. It's like everything changed, everything went quiet. It's like so much facts and they can't deny it. They rather keep their mouths shut before they start a riot. Now look how they tryna just steal the oil. They don't wanna share with none of y'all. They've been robbing us while we were sleeping. Send them to jail cause they failed, they committed treason. Change ain't coming. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. They say change ain't coming. The change is here. Listen, from Freeport to Nassau all the way to Nago. There's no more time for us to sit back and be quiet. You understand? This is war. If they only knew who we were, if they only know who we are, they would know we are warriors. No retreat, no surrender. Just give us what you owe us. Bless the Lord, oh my soul. I feel this all the way to my ancestors. We are warriors. We only really want what's owed to us. You get it? Now free up.
Good night. Change is here.